Hello everyone, in this video I'm gonna explain you the very basics of the human body mechanics, that is the control over your pelvis position. There are three basic positions of your pelvis:
neutral position, posterior pelvic tilt, and anterior pelvic tilt.
Having a good control over your pelvis is crucial not only for performing bodyweight exercises properly, but also for conscious control over your body in everyday life. Let's start with some exercises that will help you to activate and strengthen the muscles responsible for maintaining posterior and anterior pelvic tilt.
Glute bridge is the exercise that will help you to activate the glutes muscles. Lie down on the floor, grab one of your legs under your knee and pull it towards your chest. Place the second leg about 20 centimeters from your tailbone and lift your toes up. Then lift your hips from the ground as high as possible while pulling your leg to your chest all the time. Do not let your leg go away from your chest while lifting your hips up. It's very important during this exercise to prevent your pelvis to rotate anteriorly. If you are still struggling with glutes activation in posterior pelvic tilt, this movement task should help you. Start with lifting your sacrum from the ground while pressing with your lumbar spine into the ground. Then lift your lumbar spine vertebra by vertebra from the ground by squeezing your abdominal muscles and your glutes. Reach like this to the top of your thoracic spine and go back. Keep your glutes and your abdominal muscles activated throughout the entire movement. Literally check it with your fist. Świetnie, bardzo dobrze. If you're going back with your lumbar spine to the ground, make sure to isolate every single vertebra. So it's not only about lifting your hips and your back up. It's about isolating every single part of your spine, slowly with control. Now grab some shirt or a towel and place it on your lower back. Not too low, not too high, just somewhere in the middle. You can feel those two little bones sticking out of your pelvis. Place your shirt just above them. Lie down on your back and press the shirt with your lumbar spine. Then lift your legs up and place your knees over your hips. Make sure that your lumbar spine is all the time pressing into your shirt. Try to pull the shirt out. If it doesn't go away, it's good. Intentionally squeeze your abdominal muscles and suck your belly button in. Straighten your legs one after another and check if your shirt is not slipping away. If it's too easy for you, you can try the harder progression. Straighten both legs into the space. The smaller the angle between your legs and the ground, the harder the movement becomes. Remember to pull the shirt from time to time to make sure that your lumbar spine is flat on the ground. For the harder variation, straighten your legs up, lower your legs slowly to the point where you are nearly losing control over your lumbar spine. Find this sweet point where you are still holding your lumbar spine on the ground, but it requires maximum amount of effort from you. Perform 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Sit down on the floor and place your hands in front of you. The further you place your hands, the harder the movement becomes. Try to find the spot where you are able to perform 10 repetitions of this exercise. Push your shoulders down, away from your ears into scapular depression. Straighten your legs as hard as you can and start pumping with your legs up. This exercise should activate and strengthen your psoas major muscle that is responsible for anterior pelvic tilt. 2 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions is fairly enough for activating your psoas major muscle, and not only. For even better activation of your muscles responsible for hip flexion and lower back extension that are also responsible for anterior pelvic tilt, try out this exercise. Stand up with your feet shoulder width apart and lean forward by shifting your weight to your toes. And bend over with your torso while keeping your back straight. Keep your legs straight. Lift your kneecaps by squeezing your quads. Do not let your spine get rounded like this. Keep it straight. Now start pumping with your belly button to your thighs. Try to compress as much as possible and pump. All the time keep your back straight and keep your legs straight. 2 sets of 30 seconds pumping like this is fairly enough for this exercise. It's time to test the control over your pelvis in various positions of your body in relation to the gravity. Let's start with the supported push-up position. Try to rotate your pelvis as I'm showing on the video from the posterior to anterior pelvic tilt. Afterwards, switch to the full push-up position and do exactly the same with your pelvis. Remember to squeeze your glutes and your abdominal muscles in posterior pelvic tilt and your psoas major and your lower back extensors in anterior pelvic tilt. Master this movement and go to the next position. Get your legs on the wall and keep them in one line with your torso. Aim in something about 45 degrees between your torso and the ground. Check out your pelvis control in this position and then get a little bit closer to the wall to the more vertical position and check your pelvis control here. This exercise is very good for building solid pelvis stability in handstand position. At the end, we are going to check our pelvis control in the hanging position. Start with your feet touching gently the ground. It is much easier to control your pelvis when your feet are on the solid surface. If it works nicely, try going into posterior and anterior pelvic tilt while hanging without any support.
Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave the thumb up and share with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with the content I post in my channel, please click the subscription button below. Thanks again. Much love to you, my friend. Take care.